What's going on, everyone? So it's funny how the universe works, right? So we have Frog Boy X1 Gaming here, who I had a little bit of beef with him not too long ago. We butted heads, but I let that go that day. And it's not really, that serious at the end of the day to where I have to be somebody's enemy over, console aspects. Like I said, I can get into stuff with people, but I don't take it to heart to where it's like I have a personal problem with with this person at the end of the day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, life is very good. Gaming is paradise. We got so much content in the media, on Netflix, on Game Pass, on PlayStation, on PC. That life is good. You know what I mean? Because we got our entertaining, our acting, and we got telling the truth, putting people in the place that we do. But it's really positive for me. I'm happy. Things are always great. So he has a video here showing that he's running Black Myth Wukong on an ASUS ROG with 6 gigabytes of VRAM and 10 gigabytes of just, regular DDR RAM. And obviously, the system needs to use a little bit of that. And this is going to be very interesting because if y'all didn't know, there was a drama going on after what the developer had said, that is because the Series S is a problem, which is a lie. And a lot of people were saying that Sony paid them. They took a paycheck and they're trying to pay them to promote the expansion in their next state of play. We're going to find out something about that too. I want to try to keep it away. And he proved here that, and there it is, 7,700 megabytes is all you need to run Black Myth Wukong, meaning the combination of the VRAM and a DDR memory. And he says, sure, Series S is a potato, but the options exist in the game to hit the targets. And then you had, we know, Nib coming to argue with him. He gave us plenty of videos, which I can come to his page to see, showing that right here was 2.3 gigabytes of memory, 4 gigabytes. Then he kept on going because he was trying to say that he's going in an area that's, you know what I mean, not demanding enough, and then it's going to use more resources, not really understanding how that works. So he went and cranked up the resolution to 1400p with FSR, and he still was not using up all that RAM in combination, both RAM, DRAM and VRAM. And then he came back today saying, okie dokie, Nib, let's get to the same area and see what happens. Why am I not using 13 gigabytes of total system memory? You haven't explained it. This clip tells the full story. Is Nib smart enough to figure it out? Is he smart enough to figure out and say, man, I'm dumb? We're going to all the places. We're testing all the most stressful spots. Video will go live Sunday with a special section at the end specifically for Nib. Get ready because that video is going live Sunday, and we're going to be looking at that. So he went to the most stressful, even at this, turning up settings a bit, and we see at 7,000 and almost 5,000, so that's 12,000. Turning up the settings, by the way, if he goes down to like 1080p or like 720p, it will not be using that. And we're going to get to the ASUS ROG test, which is weaker than the Series S and has less RAM. And watch how this is. And then it says he's deleting the responses now, right? Look, ladies and gentlemen, we got him by the nuts. Of course, I liked and retweeted that, and a lot of people are starting to see the truth now, so they're realizing Turk knew what he was talking about. Obviously, he's over here doing the benchmarks while they're just commenting being ponies. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him by the nuts. Nib is now deleting posts, moving goalposts, and trying to weasel himself out of this one. Sorry, mate, you're wrong. Admit it, right? This is what he said. You can't even make it to the first sentence without screwing up. It is not the lowest setting. I even showed them in the clip. You are a moron. Second, you don't understand the numbers on the screen. 6.6 gigabytes is the used memory task manager plus VRAM. And he says, FFS, you are a moron. As expected, you don't even understand how memory usage is increasing. Again, you are a moron. I used the exact scene you requested. So now you're moving the goalpost. Don't worry, I'll keep tagging you. Desert area so far is the same RAM usage. Do you need a video for that too? Nib, at what point can you admit, in fact, you're wrong? Or am I going to keep dragging you just like D-Batch? Oh, he tagged him. Yeah, because we know those guys are annoying and they don't want to admit that they're wrong. It's just a clown show with them. And then he goes back up here and it kind of makes them in with that. But we're going to get to the recent video. End of Black Myth Wukong Chapter 2. I think this fight was pretty graphically demanding. However, we max around 2.4 gigabytes of RAM and 4.6 gigabytes of VRAM, or roughly 7 gigabytes. There is no different than the other clips I've shown. Because he understands how it works, you know what I mean? I'm going to show you guys something in a second. That's not even the best part. I tweaked some variables and got quantifiable results. I upped the resolution to 67% of 1440p FSR quality mode to see how the A2000 would work and what the impact to RAM would be. Turns out the increase cost me roughly 500 megabytes of VRAM, which seems reasonable. I got that multi-Wukong skill It doesn't change the system RAM requirements at all. Yeah, because know what is needed to do that. At the beginning time and code, this scene is introducing a new element, and that's the sand deformation. There appears to not be a major impact on the RAM. At the time code 134, the game suddenly dropped around 700 megabytes of system RAM with zero impact on the actual game. This proves the executable and the OS know some RAM isn't needed. Need I say more? On to chapter 3. He's doing all the work for us just to show us. And then he just posted this 8 minutes ago. Ladies and gentlemen, there has nowhere to run other than to the devs. I literally said what happened in this tweet. The OS in the game said, I don't need 700 megabytes anymore. And the game said, yes, daddy, and keep chugging along. Same effects turned on afterward, not a blip from the game. Never any response other than, Turk, I was wrong, is comical. You will continue to be dragged until those words come out of your keyboard. He's not going to do that. He said, only the developer could. It literally could be for any number of countless reasons. E.g. at a certain point. See, he's still denying. You see what I mean? This guy is just ignorant. And it surprised me, though, him and D-Batch. Now, let's go over to this test right here. We're going to go to the ASUS ROG. Guys, an ASUS ROG handheld, weaker than the Series S.
My friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we got to talk about that evil Xbox Series S. So, gosh, that thing always holding back the generation. So guys, it's come to my attention, and apparently everybody's attention, that for some reason Game Science can't get Black Myth Wukong working on the Xbox Series S. But there's games like Indiana Jones running just fine on it, and everything else seems to run just fine
Stalker 2
on this Xbox Series S, but Game Science can't seem to get it done. So guys,
Unreal Engine 5, the first Descendant.
As you've heard, you've got the developers, I guess, that were coming out saying that the Xbox Series S just doesn't have enough memory. Well, I happen to have a ROG Ally, and that will let you allocate 8 of the 16 gigs to video memory. And I had, I mean, like I had.
So 6 gigabytes of VRAM right here.
Black Myth Wukong running on there at like low settings at like 1440p. I had it running with frame generation. I had this game running with like all kinds of stuff. And if you look at this, okay, if you really want to get technical about this, Game Science is running that thing on PlayStation 5 at like 1080p at 30 frames a second, and then utilizing frame generation to make it run. So it's not like these guys are very good at building games. They basically just got it to run on the PlayStation 5, and we're just like, whatever, you know? It's like they didn't even try to optimize this even for the PlayStation console. And I mean, when we got it on PC, if you go back and you look at it, just how unoptimized that game was, the game logic was just broken. I mean, you got people that were loving it, but me, I absolutely freaking have a love-hate relationship with Black Myth Wukong.
This is running on the ASUS ROG, by the way, at low settings and, you know, lower RAM in totality than the Series S.
It ruined another one of my controllers, and it's just, I mean, well, one of my controllers, my Turtle Beach Ultra, Stealth Ultra, decided to have a bumper issue during playing that game, so that's why I quit playing it. But I would have stuck with it. If my controller didn't go out, I would have definitely stuck with that game and kept playing it.
I beat the game.
But the thing with Black Myth Wukong is they took that sleazy NVIDIA money to put the NVIDIA stuff in there, and once they do that, once a game accepts that NVIDIA, gotta have NVIDIA ray tracing, automatically you can just assume that game is gonna run like ass on everything. And because it just does. Like that NVIDIA path tracing, ray tracing stuff, don't get me wrong, guys, like I think it looks cool, but man, it's
Cyberpunk was the best game to implement that. It's still, I like to say, not even close to being mastered, just like the Unreal Engine 5, but it's very demanding.
It's in a beta, it's literally in beta form. Like you don't get good performance.
So we're seeing this right on the ASUS ROG. He's doing it right here.
On anything, and you have to have like upscaling and all of that stuff. So when these guys come out and say that they can't get it running on the Xbox Series S because it doesn't have enough memory, I call bullshit right there. I call bullshit. But then you've got other people over on Twitter, like these insufferable PlayStation fanboys. And you know what, guys? They are insufferable. You know, I mean, they can't just be like, hey man, we got a PS5 Pro, we got the best console out there, we're getting good games, we're getting Xbox games. They can't just like be quiet and just be happy and be grateful that they get these awesome opportunities. No, man, it's like they got to go out of their way to rub it in the Xbox guy's face, and it's like, why do you guys?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. It's like if you're enjoying your console so much, you can tell you have no games to play because you're always doing this 24/7. It's being childish and immature. You're not even playing any games. Xbox users are playing more games than you. But you know that proves a lot on the video that I did right on my channel. Let me go to it. Right here. And then I made another one today too. Because you guys see, the comments down here get a little bit crazy. People who just can't accept the fact that, you see 228 comments, that the video is doing well, that his test results were not good enough. They still were trying to argue against it. And now we have updated tweets, which I showed you about that, you know, he just made. I mean, this show was like 36 minutes ago. I mean, this wasn't too long ago, right? To show you guys that I did that huge video. You know what I mean? I proved a lot in there. And then now we're getting more proof right here from somebody else who's actually testing it live on the ASUS ROG. That's why I want to get this video out to you guys so you can see more live proof, because why are we still arguing against that, right? Turk has that video upcoming too where he's going to show everything in all of the areas. So we're sitting over here getting the proof and doing the test. And, you know, I'm talking with him. Me and Turk, we talk, you know, every single day with this type of stuff. And why are they still arguing against it? Does this say a lot?
Guys do that? Why are you guys so childish? I mean, it's like they're 5-year-olds, man. So yeah, I can guarantee that Black Myth Wukong can run on the Xbox Series S. I bet they could even get it running better, like 60 frames a second on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It's yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This whole thing is so annoying, and it gets so. It gets to the point where it's like, look, guys, Series S is not the problem. It's not the problem. It is a more than capable console for the price.
So we see that benchmark he ran on it. You can see it right here. Ryzen Z1 Extreme AMD Radeon's graphics. 6 gigabytes of VRAM, 10 gigabytes of RAM. What's going on? PONYS? What's going on for the people that were saying Xbox is lying? I don't think so. You see what I'm saying here? And I'm apparently, you know, I mean, I'm bashing. No, I'm not. I'm exposing the bullshit. Let's just be real here. That's what I'm doing. Where they're over there hating and being frauds and just being haters. It's like, if you got the game on your console, why are you coming over here worried about that? Why are you trying to downplay that? Yeah, you just want to beat on people that have the Xbox Series S.
Price range that the Xbox Series S is, and the power and the features that it has, that's not a bad console. It's not a bad price. Like, people can actually afford that. And it's like, these guys are like, oh man, you got to be, if you want to play video games, you got to be able to buy a $500 console. It's like, no, dude. There's a reason why Nintendo Switch does so well. There's a reason why Xbox Series S is favored console among a lot of Xbox peoples, because it's affordable enough for them to get in and play these games. Now, every time a game comes out, like this freaking, oh gosh, what is it called? Black Myth Wukong. And the developer comes out and says, well, man, we can't get it running. It's like, dude, you guys could barely get it running on PlayStation 5. So, yeah.
That's why I said it's something of a skill. They're new. They're not like these genius developers of the industry. And they're also happen to use Unreal Engine 5 for their first time. You think Unreal Engine 5 is the best optimized engine in the world? No, they're going to have to do a lot of improvements that's supposed to be launching this year. So when you add in the new development, the Sony influence and all that, all this makes sense. You know what I mean? Because like I say, even when it came out on PC, I'm like, man, this game is not fully optimized. You know what I mean? And it was just running like shit on PlayStation 5. So yeah, there we have it.
Like, I don't get why these PlayStation fanboys are over there trying to make us like a big deal about it. It's like, dude, it barely runs on a PlayStation 5. And then you need a PlayStation 5 Pro. I refuse to buy it on the console just because of the fact that it's like, no, dude, I've already bought one copy of it. I'm not buying a second copy of that game. until they fix that game and actually get it running on multiple consoles to where it's actually worth playing, nah, man, no, I'm not buying another copy of that game from those guys. So yeah, if you're an Xbox guy, don't take it to heart. These little PlayStation fanboys, they're going to run with everything. I mean, dude, they don't even have any games to play. We're literally playing old games on PlayStation 5 Pro. We're playing old games. So ignore them. Let them wait until their new Heretic Prophet and Ghost of Yote. And you just enjoy the cool, amazing games.
Yeah, you get to play as the DEI. Jada Pickin.
Games that Microsoft is bringing out to you. You guys just got Indiana Jones. You're getting Avowed next month. Like, you're getting games while PlayStation guys are waiting with our new $700 consoles to play our old games. So when you...
Yeah, and apparently Xbox is there. It's like, come on, man, get out of here with that crap. No, he didn't shut down. It's not saying we're about to shut down here. No more games are being in development. Far from that. It's a narrow-sighted point of view.
Hear them talk about your $300 console, just be like, well, at least I got games to play, and I only got to pay for Game Pass while you guys are waiting for games and playing old games. And yeah, dude, I mean, I don't know. It's funny. I don't want to be in these console wars, man. But yeah, I think the Black Myth Wukong could easily run on a Series S. These guys are just out there trying to pretend like they know what they're talking about. They don't. They really don't. So, all right, guys, if you like this.
Pretty much. So, we got our test here. We got more results from Turk, as we've seen. He's still going on because he's ignorant. Or he just likes trolling at this point. I don't know. I think it's a combination of both. But we're debunking this, right? And then he has this huge video upcoming to show even more tests. So let's get ready for this, y'all. Series S owners, you're fine. You'll be able to play the game eventually this year. All right, y'all, with the expansion. Peace out, like, comment, subscribe. Being real over here, bringing you real testing results. Later.